Everything you know about ancient humans is probably wrong. No metal, no machines, no power tools. Yet somehow, they built shelters, moved massive stones, crossed rivers, and laid the foundation for civilization. But here's the impossible question. How can you build anything before tools even exist? Did they possess a forgotten technology? Were they simply stronger than us? Or is history hiding something much simpler? Stay until the end because the real answer isn't strength. It's one idea that engineers still use today. Imagine waking up 10,000 years ago. You need a home. You need food. You need firewood. But you don't own a single tool. No hammer, no axe, not even a knife. Most people think ancient humans built without tools. That's not true. They built the tools first, and that single decision changed human history forever. Their first tool wasn't made of metal, it was made from carefully chosen stone. Not every rock worked. They searched for stones like flint because one accurate strike could create an edge sharp enough to cut meat, shape wood, and scrape animal hides. One simple stone suddenly became a knife. But cutting wasn't the hardest problem. Building was. Think about moving a giant tree trunk, or a massive rock weighing hundreds of kilograms. Without wheels, without machines, it sounds impossible. At first, it was. Then they noticed something strange. A heavy log is almost impossible to drag. But once it starts rolling, everything changes. That simple observation transformed the way humans moved heavy objects. Instead of fighting against weight, they worked with nature. By placing logs underneath huge stones, they rolled them forward one step at a time. Slowly, the impossible began to move. But rolling solved only half the problem. There was still one question. How do you lift something that's simply too heavy to pick up? And the answer would become one of the greatest discoveries in human history. The answer was a simple wooden branch. One day, ancient humans discovered that placing a long branch under a heavy rock made it much easier to lift. Without realizing it, they had invented the lever, one of the greatest engineering discoveries of all time. Suddenly, rocks that seemed impossible to move could finally be lifted. But lifting them wasn't enough. They still had to transport them across long distances, so they combined two brilliant ideas: rolling logs and teamwork. Some people pushed. Others pulled with ropes made from twisted plant fibers and animal sinew. Another group kept placing fresh logs beneath the stone. Slowly, meter by meter, the impossible kept moving. It wasn't fast. Sometimes it took days to move a single rock. But ancient humans understood something we often forget. The fastest solution isn't always the smartest one. Then another challenge appeared. Once they moved the wood, how could they hold everything together? There were no nails, no screws, no glue. So they turned back to nature. Strong vines, tree roots, animal hides, plant fibers. By twisting these materials into ropes, they created bindings strong enough to hold wooden beams together for years. No metal, just intelligence. And that's what made ancient humans extraordinary. Not their muscles, their minds. Every problem they solved created a better solution for the next one. A sharp stone became an axe. An axe cut stronger trees. Those trees became levers, shelters, and bridges. One invention led to another. Slowly, small camps became villages. Villages became towns. And those towns became the first civilizations. So, let's go back to the question we asked at the beginning. How did ancient humans build before modern tools? The truth is, they didn't. They built the first tools, and those tools built the world. The principles they discovered thousands of years ago are still used today. Construction cranes rely on the same idea as the ancient lever. Heavy machinery still reduces friction to move enormous loads. Engineers still solve problems the same way ancient humans did. One idea at a time. Maybe the greatest invention in history wasn't metal, or the wheel, or even fire. Maybe it was something much simpler. Human curiosity, the courage to look at a problem and ask one question. What if there's an easier way? That single question transformed ordinary stones into tools, tools into buildings, buildings into civilizations, and eventually, the modern world we live in today. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more stories that reveal the forgotten secrets of human history. Thanks for watching.